This series is causing heated discussions. The reboot of Harry Potter. The books and movies are absolute cult classics, and for many of us, represent one thing above all: childhood. Now, the premium network HBO is bringing Harry Potter back, with a new cast and a fresh take on the original books. And even before its release, fan reactions couldn't be more divided, from major hype to outright calls for a boycott. But what is it that is causing such intense controversy? And what does the series need to get right to become a success? We break down the opportunities and risks of the reboot and bring you up to date. So here are all the details on the new cast of the legendary characters and the major debates surrounding the production. The finale of the legendary Harry Potter movies was more than 13 years ago. Since then, the Fantastic Beasts films have followed, but without comparable success. Then, in 2023, it was announced that Harry Potter would be adapted into a series. Filming has been underway in London since July 2025, with the premiere expected sometime in 2027 on HBO Max. Currently, a total of 7 seasons are planned, matching the 7-part book series. At least the first season is expected to consist of 8 episodes. So far, there is no information on whether the number of episodes might increase in later seasons, but that certainly would not be unreasonable. After all, the later novels are considerably more extensive than the young wizard's earlier adventures. The series is set to run for a total of 10 years. According to the current plan, that would mean until 2037. All in all, it sounds like a rather ambitious undertaking. A few years ago, it was still common for new seasons to be released annually. These days, that is no longer necessarily the case for blockbuster series. It is not unusual for major productions to have gaps of 2 years or more between seasons. We'll have to wait and see whether Harry Potter can stick to its release schedule, assuming the series really does run that long. The new Harry Potter cast features both familiar and new faces. We are especially eager to see the fresh trio of heroes, Harry, Hermione, and Ron. The newcomers, Dominic McLaughlin, Arabella Stanton, and Alastair Stout, have been cast in these roles. The young actors were selected from more than 32,000 applicants. At the start of filming, the first official photo showing McLaughlin in full Harry Potter attire was released, complete with the Hogwarts school robe, round glasses, and iconic lightning scar. An official image has also been released of Shaun of the Dead star Nick Frost as Hagrid. The Hogwarts gamekeeper is one of Harry, Ron, and Hermione's closest confidants. The first name revealed from the cast was that of acting legend John Lithgow. Even before the official announcements, he disclosed in interviews that he would be portraying the powerful headmaster of Hogwarts, Albus Dumbledore. However, the casting of actor Papa Essayadu as Severus Snape sparked a lively debate. The head of Slytherin House is one of the most beloved and iconic characters in the books and films. For many, the late Alan Rickman was the perfect portrayal of the character. Some fans were taken aback by the casting of a black actor in the role, as it marks a striking shift from Snape's long-established appearance in the Harry Potter universe. This reaction is especially notable given that the creators had emphasized their intention to remain particularly faithful to the books with the series. When it comes to Snape's age, that may be true, but regarding his appearance, not so much. This time, the role of Minerva McGonagall will be played by Janet McTeer. The deputy headmistress of Hogwarts and head of Gryffindor House was portrayed in the movies by the late acting icon Maggie Smith. Most of the Weasley family has also already been announced. The twins, Fred and George, will be played by Tristan and Gabriel Harland. Rory Spooner takes on the role of Percy Weasley, while Gracie Cochran will portray the youngest sister, Ginny. Their mother, Molly, will be played by Catherine Parkinson. The new faces of the Malfoys and Dursleys have likewise been confirmed. Lox Pratt will take on the role of young Draco Malfoy, while Johnny Flynn will portray his father, Lucius. In the Dursley family, Belle Powley has been cast as Harry's Aunt Petunia. Daniel Rigby plays Uncle Vernon, and Amos Kitson appears as Harry's spoiled cousin, Dudley. Also joining the cast is Rory Wilmot as the shy but loyal Neville Longbottom. The famous wand maker, Ollivander, will be played by Game of Thrones actor Anton Lesser, while the role of Quirinius Quirrell will be portrayed by newcomer Luke Fallon. Other cast members include Paul Whitehouse as caretaker Argus Filch, Bertie Carvel as Minister for Magic Cornelius Fudge, and Sherlock actress Louise Brealey as Madame Hooch. The cast also holds a little surprise. One of the original film actors is actually returning to his familiar role. We are talking about Warwick Davis, who will once again appear as Professor Flitwick. As showrunner, Francesca Gardner is responsible for the creative side of things. She has already gained experience in the fantasy genre as a writer for His Dark Materials and also contributed to the acclaimed HBO series Succession. Involved in the project as director is veteran filmmaker Mark Mylod. Over the course of his career, Mylod has directed multiple episodes of high-profile HBO series such as Game of Thrones, The Last of Us, and Succession. The British director is set to helm several episodes of the first season of the Harry Potter series. Of course, J.K. Rowling's role in the project has also sparked discussion. The author is involved behind the scenes as an executive producer. In recent years, she's repeatedly come under fire for her comments on transgender issues. Several actors from the Harry Potter universe have publicly distanced themselves from her views, most notably Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint. Her involvement in the upcoming series is therefore a controversial topic among fans. The Harry Potter reboot carries a lot of risks. The approach to remakes and book adaptations is a tricky subject in general. Do you retell the same story in the same way? Or do you try a completely new approach? Chris Columbus, the director of the first two Harry Potter movies, is generally well-disposed towards the series. But in the podcast The Rest is Entertainment, he also shared his concerns. Nick Frost is wearing the exact same costume that we designed for Hagrid. Part of me was like, what's the point? I thought the costumes and everything was going to be different, but it's more of the same. The resemblance to Robbie Coltrane's Hagrid is indeed undeniable. Generally speaking, fans are questioning the purpose of the series adaptation. Why reboot the story when the original movies aren't even that old? HBO has stated that they want to tell the story for a new generation. But does the world really need a new Harry Potter adaptation every 25 years? On top of that, the original cast is still deeply ingrained in the minds of the viewers. New actors in these beloved roles will inevitably invite comparisons, and not every fan will be willing to embrace the new faces. Despite the huge success and popularity of the movies, one thing is for certain. Not all characters and storylines from the books can be covered within the runtime of the film series. The biggest advantage of the series, therefore, lies in its format. While the movies had to shorten or completely omit complex storylines, the series format offers much more room for depth. Chapters that received little attention in the films can now finally be explored. Indeed, the series has the potential to closely reflect the content of the novels. This is also the stated goal of those responsible, a faithful adaptation of the books. Rowling herself has emphasized the added value of the series, noting that only this format allows for an in-depth and detailed adaptation. The home of the series is certainly a cause for optimism. The name HBO has been synonymous with high-quality series entertainment for decades. From The Sopranos to Game of Thrones and Chernobyl to The Last of Us and Succession, HBO has proven time and again that they can handle complex stories with quality, boldness, and atmosphere. With Game of Thrones in particular, HBO demonstrated, at least in its early years, that elaborate fantasy productions can work well as a series. We sincerely hope that the transition to a series format will be a success. Naturally, there are strong opinions about the casting, and the love for the film adaptations hasn't faded. Even so, we are looking forward to what we hope will be an entertaining and captivating return to the world of Harry Potter. It is inevitable that the series will be compared to the movies, but perhaps, in the end, both can be inspiring in their own unique ways. But now we want to hear your opinion. Will you give the series a chance? And what do you think of the cast so far? We will, of course, keep you updated on all upcoming developments from Hogwarts. Until then, take care. Your KinoCheck team.